Hello everyone, welcome to week 3 deep dive. For the deep dive, we're going to be focusing on creating our player health, adding at least one enemy attacking us, and also creating a losing screen. So to start off, we're going to create our player health. So we're going to start off by going to our player sprite, and in here we're going to look for this block of code in particular. We're looking for this one because we have a set XP to 0, so we can set another variable here. With that in mind, we're going to click on our variable tab, and we're going to make a variable since we need something to hold our health information for us. We're going to click on make a variable, and we're going to leave it for all sprites, and we're going to call this player health. Once we've done that, we're going to click OK. We're going to add a set block right underneath the X speed. We're going to change this to player health, and I'm going to put my player health at 100. So it's up to you guys what player health you want to give your player, but any number is perfectly fine. Just remember that you might need to adjust some of your enemy hit points, and you'll see what I mean with that a little bit later on. So now that I've created my player health, every time I start with my green flag, my player health starts at 100. Now we need a way to start decreasing it, and we do that by having our aliens/enemies to attack us. So we're going to go to our first enemy that we have, and we're going to scroll down until we find this block of code here. This block of code is already looking for an interaction, and by interaction I mean when two things sort of touch each other for our game. So this is specifically looking for when our enemy is being touched by the shot sprite, and then it's going to run this code. So it only makes sense to add another one here. So we're going to click on our control sprite. We're going to add an if then. Inside of this little diamond shape, we're going to go into sensing, and we're going to look for it when it's touching the player. So when our enemy is touching our player, what we wanted to do is we're going to go into our variable tab. We're going to change our player health by -1. So we need to make it negative so it subtracts. So this is where it's up to you as well. If you want your enemy to take off more health points, that's up to you. So maybe I wanted to take out 10 health every time it touches my player. Now here's the thing. If we leave it like this, as the enemy is touching our player slowly before it goes down, is going to rapidly remove our health. And we only want it to do it once when it's touching our player. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside of control, and we're going to add a wait 1 second right underneath it. That way, after it subtracts the -10 or whatever we have here from the initial point that it touched our player, then it will do it again, but by then you've either moved out of the way or the enemy has already gone completely down, so it will only do it once. So now that we've done it for our first enemy, we need to add this code to all our other enemies that has this as well, because we want to make sure that no matter what enemy we have, if our player is touching them, we subtract from our health. So I'm going to hold this and drag it over to one of my enemies. This block of code, I'm going to go ahead and just drag it down. And I'm just going to make sure I added in the correct spot. So now since this is a new enemy, maybe I want to change the health to be something else. So maybe -5 instead. And with this, we've completed our player health. We might want to move this player health somewhere else. So maybe somewhere down here, or maybe somewhere over here, so it's not blocking anything, but we're able to see it. If you guys do want to make it as part of the UI, you can just look back to the previous codes that we have. You can always create another one of the regular sprites that we have here for our title and name this player health. And then you can just duplicate this and then just change the score to player health, and then just move it in the correct spot, and there you have your player health as part of your UI, if that is something that you guys want to do. But other than that, with that out of the way, you will have a player health system already set up for your game.